No, I'm Dirty Dan.
No, I'm Dirty Dan. Which one of you, Dirty Dan?
I am.
SpongeBob!
That's perfect.
Alright, we're starting it.
This is the New Leaf Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Hey, shut up.
Silence, Tanner! You shut your mouth!
I didn't hear Tanner say anything, so I was like, why did you say shut up?
What's up, everybody? This is Christian. This is the New Leaf Podcast. And if you want to connect with us, I feel like I haven't really said this lately. We have a Twitter that's at the New Leaf Crew. You can also email us at thenewleafcrew@gmail.com. We have a YouTube channel that you can find, Facebook, all that good stuff. So go ahead and do that. But this week, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been doing lately. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about PlayStation because we are in the middle of our PlayStation series. So I'm going to let Tanner go first if he's got anything good that he wants to talk about since he missed out last week. And we'll start off there.
Permission to talk.
You have permission to talk now.
Yeah, why don't you tell us why you missed last week?
Yeah, Tanner, why'd you miss the podcast last week?
Well, Dad, I went to a baseball game, Reds Cubs, with Dad. Cubs win 5-2, and pretty much had a good time. Got a little bit sunburned later on the next day, finding out, and pretty much the rest of the week was playing Infinity Blade 3, doing a couple updates for it. I forgot to mention, did I already mention I got the Tiger Zord?
No, I don't think you mentioned that.
No.
Okay, so a while back, I got the Power Rangers Legacy Tiger Zord, and I just opened my, Masterpiece Soundwave, and thanks to Tyler, it got a little bit better looking with the cassettes. That's pretty much, besides some schooling, meetings, but.
Are they still coming out with a new Power Rangers movie?
Far as I know, I have not been up into that. I've been on a Gears thing in Arkham Knight, so I've been not paying attention.
Yeah, those are like two pretty big things in Tanner's life, so that would probably take up most of his, like, concern.
And Transformers.
Yeah, and Transformers, yeah.
Alright, sounds good. What about you, Tyler?
Well, I have been enjoying my week, and so one of the things that I thought about, since the last podcast was I forgot to mention while we were out of town on that cruise that I actually played and beat a game called, Deus Ex The Fall.
The app.
The app, is that what you said?
Yeah.
It is an iPhone app. Yeah, iPad game. And, if you've ever played, Human Revolution, it's very similar to that, and it actually works pretty well on an iPad. It did crash a couple times just because I feel like the processor would all of a sudden get bogged down if it played for too long. So you have to make sure you save often. But it was very entertaining. I probably played it for 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that, like total gameplay. Which, I mean, it's pretty good for, like to have the story it did and like the character customization and stuff. It really got me hyped because, I had the Game Informer for the new, Mankind Divided, that was the Deus Ex or Deus Ex, however you say it.
Deuce.
It's not Deuce. Like, it's not, like, in true fashion, it's not Deuce. I
Like-
do know.
Like Deuces to my ex.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I promise. This will be one of those things that we'll have to agree to disagree on, but it's
No,
not.
I know it's Deus.
No,
I know
he's
it-
making fun of you. He doesn't think it's Deus Ex. He's not, no, he doesn't think
Okay.
that.
Alright.
Yeah, I never
So-
played a Deus Ex game, but I did just watch the trailer for the new one, and it looks pretty sweet.
It has an amazing storyline, and I realized, and I've realized this for a while, but I don't know if I've let the listeners know that I have a problem where I have so many different things I want to do that I really don't get in the habit of finishing them. If you'll look at our
Yep.
YouTube channel, I have like one Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse video up. Maybe-
I will remind him.
Yeah, I mean, Tanner's good for reminding me, but I'm always good for being busy with something else at the time. And so, just, I've got Dragon Ball Z to do, I've got Halo to do, and
Oh, okay.
if I can ever get through some of these things, like actually like take the time, sit down and do them, I would love to start, going back and then streaming, I would play Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and stream that over Twitch. I think that'd be fun for, people to see if they'd like that. It's a great story. So that's one of the things I've thought about this week, just trying to get my life together. You gotta have priorities, yo. And, so, other than that, it's been a pretty good week of work, and did we do anything special this week, Tanner?
Not really. You did something last night.
Oh, okay. Alright. Quick shout out, Tyler Wiley, this guy that goes to our church, he got married,
Yes.
Oh,
yesterday.
nice.
Yep.
And, so, shout out to him. And then, my friend Matt Walker, his wife actually graduated from college, so, yesterday as well. So it was a big day for, partying and festivities in that regard. So that was a lot of fun. But that's kind of the end of the week, how it wrapped up. So it was a good time.
Yeah, for us. For now.
Cool. Alright, so, for me, yeah, I've kind of the same boat as Tyler. I've got a lot of projects that I'm trying to work on and finish up. Just haven't finished any of them yet. I did get the couple of new games on the Xbox. I picked up the free game Castle Storm. Played that a little bit. It's not too bad. I definitely wouldn't have played it if it wasn't free, but it's still kind of fun. I played it with Taylor a little bit. Also got Happy Wars, which is not a free game with gold, but it is free to play on the Xbox. And I only played like the tutorial of it, and I don't really know if I'm gonna play that anymore. It seems like it's kind of more kid oriented.
No, it's really fun. It's just your connection sucked when we were trying to play. So that's
Yeah,
hard.
that was probably it. But then I also got Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, which is, if anybody doesn't know, it's the new like arcade version of the Assassin's Creed games, where this one's set in China. I think there's gonna have another one set in Russia and another one set somewhere else. But it's like a 2D side-scrolling platformer. It's $10, so it's super cheap, and so far I'm enjoying it. I've actually been recording it every time I've played, and I might throw it up on the YouTube channel, just, no voiceover or anything like that, just the gameplay of it. But it's really interesting. It's 2D, but it's almost 3D in that there's like different, layers, I guess you might say. There's like a front layer, and you can go to like a back layer by running across a log or swinging on a rope or something. So it's a little
Like a foreground and background.
yeah. It's got a little bit more depth to it than just plain 2D
that's sweet.
side scroller. Yeah.
I love games like that.
It's something fresh for the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I'm in the same boat with a lot of other people that play those games. Is an Asian, like feudal Japan or something like that, setting for an Assassin's Creed game, I think would be awesome. And, this is it's kind of that, but it's not like the full blown experience. So if they get a lot of good feedback from this, hopefully they'll make a full game in that same setting. And it also has a female-led character, which is very cool. But, other than that, Taylor and I played Titanfall last night with, some of the Open Forum Radio guys, their game night. And, I'm sure that none of them listen to this podcast, and after last night, I'm sure they never will. And I don't know why, because Taylor gets in there, and Taylor said off the recording that it's just because we're really good, and that might have something to do with it, because, they were on Skype, and I was trying to get into the Skype call with them, but I was in the game while we were trying to do that. So I played a couple of games, before I got into the Skype call, and I mean, I was just like creaming them. Just, like I've said before, I'm just really good at Titanfall, and I don't know why. I'm just super good at it. I finally.
Such a jerk.
I know, I sound like a jerk, but I'm serious. Like,
He's so humble.
I'm the best. Let's just be honest.
no, I just play the game. I just play the game like I normally play any game, and I'm just good at it.
I know.
So I finally get into the Skype call, and they're like, "Oh, we finally got the ringer. Meef got his ringer into the Skype call." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So then I get Taylor in, and Taylor is as good or better than me. So, and we obviously try to get on a team together. So we were just like handing it to these guys. Like, I think we won a Mark for Death match, 10-0.
And I didn't die. I went like 16-0.
We were just like totally shutting them down, and they were getting so mad. And Taylor wasn't being as jerky as he normally can be. He was just being really loud. Like
every time I was being like the Strider Titan, the little skinny one, so when you melee someone out of it, you squash them in your hand. And dude, when I did that to him, I let him have it. I was yelling, like getting brutally loud with them when I was getting up in their face with my Titan, and they just didn't like that, so.
Yeah, they were not fans of, me and Taylor being in the game. I think one guy got to calling me Soggy McDonald's, I guess as an insult, because my name
and
is
he called me Easter egg, and I'm like, I don't understand what the.
Yeah. So, but that was fun. Probably never gonna get to play with them again, but it was fun while it lasted.
Yep. That's alright. It happens.
But that was pretty much it for my week, aside from the absolute disaster that the heist was that we were playing earlier on Grand Theft Auto. Me and Taylor were playing, but I'm just gonna go ahead and move it on to Taylor.
Yeah. Well, this week has been kind of hectic in the sense of kind of been trying to really study. I have an upgrade training test coming up here soon, so I've been trying to kind of get prepared for that, and passing that will determine, passing it really well or passing it okay will determine if I get promoted earlier than I could be promoted. So I'm really trying to make sure that I destroy that test so I get in the pool for a faster promotion rate. So besides that, I downloaded the free games that came out on PlayStation this month, and this game called Azra's, something. It's like a 2D kind of side scroller.
That's on the Xbox too, but of course you have to pay for it. It looked interesting, but I didn't want to.
It's not very interesting, so, it's kind of boring in my opinion. So he's kind of just, I don't know, it's not very worthy to talk about. But the other game was called, I can't even think of it. Damn, on it. Never Alone. Do you know what that is, Christian?
Yeah,
Tyler,
that's the one, kind of the unique art style. It's got the, like the Eskimo girl and the dog.
Right, yeah. It takes place like in Alaska, kind of trying to tell the story about the Alaskan natives, not the people who populated it, but the ones that were there before. And kind of their backstory and what they believe and kind of the mystery around that. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool, actually. So Never Alone is about this little girl, Eskimos like Christian, like you just said. So I really haven't got too much into it yet, but I would like to cause I haven't had that much time. Because, you see the free games for gold or whatever, or how it is on Xbox, and that's how it is on PlayStation too, and you kind of don't think about downloading it until you have nothing else to do, because you just don't think about, oh, I'm gonna go into the store and just download it. At least I don't think like that.
I check them like the first of every month.
Okay, well, good for you, buddy.
Of course, I'm always disappointed, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's still better on PlayStation, so. But, and there's also, speaking of the deals, the PlayStation Store has a ton of really good deals on content this month if you have a PlayStation, so check into that. But anyways, so, and another game I've been trying to spend some time on is Mortal Kombat, just because I just want to own people when they try and talk trash, and I'm like, okay, I'll play you, and then I'm really good. But I'm not there yet, like, by any means, so. But, I was about to say Transformers for some reason. The new Mortal Kombat has, in the old games, there was a tower mode, kind of where you just ascended this tower of opponents. And in the new one, there's a thing called Living Towers, where each single match you have, whether it's 5 opponents or 8 opponents in a row, there's different game modifiers, like if you jump, you get hurt, stuff like that. So, and that's really been fun to me because it kind of gets you in the feel for just fighting every single fighter style, instead of just, doing the story mode and you only get to fight a certain character or whatever, it's totally random and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed that, and my character is by far Johnny Cage, just because he has an awesome fatality, and I love doing that to people. So, if you guys haven't played Mortal Kombat, and I know you've watched the videos because you can't just not look at it, it's extremely brutal. So, but, the last thing I want to mention is that Titanfall last night, like Christian said, was really awesome. And I don't know why they were getting so mad at us, but if you guys do happen to hear this, I didn't mean any harm by being loud. I just really enjoyed beating you guys. So, but seriously, the last thing I want to say, because Christian said not to say this earlier, so I'm going to say it to make him mad. As I've kind of stated before in the podcast, is I'm kind of a fitness oriented lifting kind of person. So, I've been doing a challenge per se, I guess is what you could call it, but my worky out, my workout role model is a guy named, Corey Gregory. And if you guys don't know who that is, I don't think you guys know who it is, so. But he put a challenge out a little while ago called Squat Every Day. So pretty much every workout you do every day, you squat.
Oh.
And at first he's like, wow, that sounds awful, like you're not gonna be able to do it. And really it's built some insane endurance in my leg strength. And the other day I hit a new max. I hit 340 on a set of squats, so that was like a really big accomplishment in my history of lifting, so I was excited about that. But besides that, hopefully I can come home and I won't be seeing you, Christian, at the end of this month if I can come home somehow, but I'll be seeing you, Tyler, so. But we'll see. Yeah, so we'll see though. I know. Come to Ohio at the end of May, dude, and maybe I'll see you.
Can't.
I know. So. But yeah, so that's my, week in a nutshell, and I don't want to talk about it anymore because I'll just talk about how awesome the fatalities are and no one wants to hear about that, so.
Oh, I want to hear about Mortal Kombat, but I don't want to go into it. We need to get on the topics here.
That's right, Tanner. Let's hear Christian.
I don't want to go down rabbit trail right now.
Well, I'll tell you about it in a little bit then. I'll tell you about how I split people in half with my hands.
Let's not talk about that on this podcast.
Okay.
Leave that.
You trying to say this is a rated T?
Yeah, we'll try to keep this a rated T.
Oh, okay, fine.
Alright, so let's talk about PlayStation.
Okay. Let's talk about it then.
Let's do it.
Okay. Alright, so this week we're going to talk about the service. We're going to talk about the multiplayer, correct?
Yes. The
multiplayer
what you get with the service, free games. This is PlayStation Plus, by the way. The discounts. And then we'll move on to some other sections. But first of all, we should say that on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Plus is a requirement, where it was not a requirement.
It
on
is
PlayStation
now.
3.
Yeah, on the old service, well, I was gonna say old service, but I guess you could say that. On PlayStation 3, PlayStation Plus was kind of how Xbox Silver and Xbox Gold, but you had to have Xbox Gold to play online.
That was for Xbox. You had to have gold to pay online.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm comparing the old PlayStation to how Xbox is. Like,
You mean like the month, like silver was for 1 to 3 months?
No,
Silver was all the time. If you didn't have Silver, was Xbox Live without paying for it.
Well, Xbox has the same thing. It's Xbox Live Silver and then Xbox Live Gold.
Right, and then how PlayStation 3 used to be PlayStation Online and then PlayStation Plus. But the difference is, and not how Xbox was just the online features. On PlayStation, you could actually play online with the lesser grade version of the online service.
You didn't have to subscribe to any service to play online or do most of the things that you could do.
Right. And then PlayStation Plus was kind of the deal getter. Like that's where they started off with that kind of, getting games for free every month or whatever have you kind of thing. So that's why I think a lot of gamers kind of drifted towards PlayStation in the beginning, kind of the online, people would say, well, I got paid $50 to play online on the Xbox, but on PlayStation it's free, so I might as well just, save money. And I know a lot of people were kind of outraged by this, when PlayStation 4 came out and the new service kind of went into effect. I know it was nice. I mean, it sucks paying for 2 different online services, I'm not gonna lie, but.
Well, I mean, you can't have a decent online service without getting money for it from somewhere. And we've seen evidence of that, with, like, the different DDoS attacks and hacks or whatever against Microsoft and Sony. Seems like Sony overall has been, kind of more, they've been, like, weaker to those attacks. Like, there's been several times, there was once, when was it, a couple years ago, that PlayStation Online
4 years ago.
It was down for like a whole month. And then I think just this past Christmas, it was down for like a week. Xbox was down for like maybe 2 days. So.
Yeah, but they were important days. They hit right at Christmas. Like, everybody's opening their new games and gifts, and somebody decided to DDoS them. And so it was, because it's really frustrating.
But still, Microsoft's been able to recover from that stuff better than Sony has, and I think it's because they have been building up more money and things like that to maintain it. So, I mean, it's not really a valid argument, I guess. It's not really a valid reason for somebody to get mad that PlayStation is required to pay online now. And I think it's actually cheaper than Xbox Live. It's like, what is it, $50 a year? Xbox Live is $60 a year.
Yeah, 50. Right.
There's no such thing as free. So, you might as well pay for a service and make sure it's going good than, like, if you went out and got a coupon for a free sandwich, it still costs that company, like, say $1 or whatever to make that sandwich.
Right.
So it's not always free. So,
and in the big scheme of things, if you pay for the online on PlayStation, in my opinion, you make the money back each month with the games they give you. To the degree the games are, it's not like how Xbox used to be. They're getting better at it, like we talked about before, but Xbox used to kind of go, I feel like, through their inventory and say, what game, is not that great, but we can put it out for free and not, like, really lose any money for it.
Yeah.
So they put out, some crappy game.
It felt like Halo 3,
PlayStation,
like 5 years after it came out.
Right. And meanwhile, PlayStation is putting out, really unique and, I don't know, just good games, in my opinion. And now PlayStation is kind of catching up to that degree. My mistake. Xbox is catching up to that. But, I gotta pay whatever, $7 a month, but the games I get for free account to $30 total. So, I mean, I kind of make my money back. So.
That's worth it.
So how long have you had your PlayStation?
What, is it April this month?
No, it's May.
Mace?
It is May.
I don't
Dang,
know.
it is May. Shoot. I got it. I think the April, or not the April. The order came out in March? The beginning of March, I believe. The order 1886 or whatever it is. So I got my PlayStation kind of a couple days after that. So I think it was the beginning of March. So I've had it for almost 2 months now.
Have you gotten all the free games that have come out for it?
No, I have not. But I mean,
Is it
I
just
tried to.
based on choice?
It's just based on, like I said before, not remembering to look at the store, or not thinking about it when they say new games come out, or just not wanting to get them. So,
Okay.
I mean, I've gotten probably, there probably hasn't been maybe one game that I didn't download out of all of them. So I know that last month they gave out, Valiant Hearts: The Great War, which is an Xbox game as well. And that game is really, really, it's actually kind of sad. It has a good story to it. It's about World War One, so, but it's really fun. And it was worth $15 if I would have had to buy it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah, see, this is kind of a grievance I've got against Xbox, is there's all these new, like you call them indie games that are coming out that nobody knows anything about it because they're just small productions. They don't have like all the marketing money and everything like that to put ads and everything out for it. And Xbox like just kind of throws these games up and there's no, like they don't talk about it. It's like, okay, we have this game out. We have this game out now. Shut up. Like, okay, we have this game out now. It's, go buy it. And there's like no information about it. So, there's this one game that just came out, and I forget what it's called. It's got a weird name, but it's like a top-down, it's like a spaceship looking thing on the icon for it. But at least Xbox has it discounted. It just came out maybe a week or two ago. Xbox has it discounted. So that's like maybe a step forward. Maybe somebody will buy it if it's discounted, but like, what was that one you were talking about Azura's, whatever it was?
Right, Azura's, like, I think Wrath, it might be what it's called, something like that.
Yeah, so that came out at the same time, Xbox, PlayStation. On Xbox, you have to pay for it, and you know nothing about it. PlayStation is free. So, like, they can download it, say, this is good, this is bad, or whatever, if you like it.
Right.
Maybe you'll Twitch stream it, maybe somebody else will buy it down the road, but Xbox, it's like, nobody knows anything about it, so why would you purchase it? Same thing.
And that game you're talking about is called Project Root, I think is what that spaceship game is called.
That's it. And like Valiant Hearts, like that's been on both PlayStation, Xbox. PlayStation's giving away for free to kind of get people talking about it, but I don't know. It just seems like that's, if Xbox wants to do something with their ID at Xbox program, they need to either like throw a game out for free for maybe not even like a month. I mean, throw it out for free for a weekend or a week or something like that to get people like interested in it instead of just saying, okay, it's like Steam. Like I'm sure like dozens of games go up on Steam every week and nobody's going to play them all because nobody knows anything about them. And it's the same thing with Xbox, except it's maybe 1, 2, 3 a month go up and there's just no talk about it or anything. So everybody's like, okay, should I like spend my hard-earned money on this or just pass it? And it could be something that's really good or it could be something that's really bad. So
right.
PlayStation is a lot better about that than Xbox is.
I do think it's cool how Xbox put out NBA 2K15 last week, free to play, for I think 4 days, something like that. I think that's, that's a good start as well. I mean, that's really,
well, they did the same thing
with
Sunset Overdrive last year or beginning of this year, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did do that, didn't they? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't download it. I didn't play it because I'm not really a sports game fan, but yeah, like that. I mean, on the weekends, people are off work. They can download a game, play it. If they like it, they can buy it.
Right.
That's a great idea because I mean, gaming renting games is pretty much dead at this point, unless you have GameFly, which is kind of expensive. And you
I
don't
don't
always
really hear much talk about GameFly anymore.
yeah,
So.
and you don't always. When I had GameFly, like I would never get the new games that were coming out because everybody was trying to get them.
Right.
It was like only older games, only older games that you could get. But yeah, like and game demos. I mean, on the 360, it was like everything had a demo. I don't know.
You're
I'm
embarrassing yourself.
I'm talking too much. Every game had a demo.
No.
All the arcade games had like the free like light version, and if you liked it, you could buy it. But that's almost like fallen by the wayside with these new consoles. Yeah. So yeah, like especially with new IPs, like how many, like everybody's gonna buy Halo 5. If you're a Halo fan, you're gonna buy Halo 5 because you know that it's Halo, you know it's gonna be
I don't necessarily think that's true just because of,
just overall, I mean, Halo 5, Uncharted 4, yeah, Arkham Knight, I mean, those established franchises, people are gonna buy them.
Oh yeah.
There's no question. Right. But you put something out like Sunset Overdrive or Watch Dogs, it's like, why, if people don't know whether it's good or not, they're gonna be hesitant to spend money on it. So why not make it free for a day or 2 days and like get everybody playing it? It's like, oh man, that was a lot of fun. I want to keep playing that.
Or just have a demo. Like I totally forgot. Sorry, Tyler.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's how I bought Hardline, is just because I had a free EA Access pass to it for 10 hours of play. It was worth it.
I think that's one
good
idea.
And I mean, I totally forgot about how 360 used to have every single game had a demo. I really, honestly, totally forgot about that. And I think
demos are a big deal. I mean,
yeah,
you don't think about it like once you get an established collection in your library, you don't think about demos as much because you've got games that you just go back to and play. But for someone that's living on a budget that doesn't have that library yet, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, or just someone that, just doesn't have like a collection like you said, and they don't really know much about video games or haven't really had much experience, and then all of a sudden you see all their friends, like, let's say this guy doesn't really know much about games, but all of his friends are playing, whatever Destiny or Call of Duty, and everybody's like, oh dude, you should totally buy this. And instead of, saying, oh, I'll download the demo and see how it is, he's like, okay. And then goes out and buys it, and he actually ended up hating the game. He just wasted $60 that he could have spent on something else that he actually liked.
That's why you watch reviews, people.
Yeah, that is true.
That's also true.
Yeah, but you can't base a lot of your decisions on reviews because 5 websites have 5 different scores on a game. I mean, it's all as to who is reviewing it. I mean, I'm sure there's critics out there that review games that love them that I hate, and they hate games that I love. So it's hard to base a decision off that when you don't experience it yourself.
Well, yeah. I say it's your opinion if you want to get the game or not, and plus, you watch review to take opinion fact about the game, and then try to see if they're right or not.
Well, an opinion's not a fact, necessarily. Like, what are you saying, like, that,
I mean,
the people that, like, their conclusions, would sway you to buy or not buy a game just based on that? Like, you would just trust the person that's, like, reviewing it?
It's like, it's the customer's opinion if they want to get it or not.
Right.
What I'm saying, the customer chooses to watch the review or just goes out and get it and just, like what Taylor says, oh, it's gonna hate it or be like it. So, waste money.
No, so, and I mean, and that's a big platform. I think Tanner has a point. I mean, it's because I know there's been some games where I've like, I don't know if I want to buy this game, but hey, this guy already wasted his money on it, so let me watch the video that he's made on it so I can see, if it's worth, given a try or anything, but still, I guess it comes down to the fact of you actually playing the game, and if you don't have the demo, you can't do it, but.
That's like at one time, we all hated on Sunset Overdrive until Taylor
Until I played it, and I was like, wow, it's awesome. And I got all the gamer score in the whole game, so.
I'm still not sold on it.
I don't like
Cause you haven't played it. There's no demo, you haven't played it, so.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
There was,
There you go.
though. There was.
But I was busy
there was.
that weekend. I was busy.
I'm sure you were. Busy hating Sunset Overdrive. Anyways.
Whatever. Let's move on.
So next, I guess we'll talk about a very cool feature that I didn't really like it at first, but now that I've actually used it, I actually like it a lot. Almost, I'll give my points of why I like it and why I don't like it. The more we talk
PlayStation
about
record
it,
that.
Yeah, that is that's one reason, but PlayStation Share is essentially the same thing as, Upload for us Xbox gamers. And yes, like Christian said, you can't say that actually. You cannot say PlayStation record that. So it's kind of a downer because, I mean, listen, if I'm owning people in Battlefield, I really don't want to take the time to hit the share button on my controller and then have to hit square to record my last 60 seconds. So that's really kind of a frustrating thing that I've seen just from, I mean, cause both of us can account for the fact that crazy stuff happens in Battlefield, I mean, the whole time. So, you can't really give yourself a second to breathe unless you're like Tyler and you snipe, then you have like the whole game to breathe, but,
Yeah, and then if it's a game that uses me as bait, then he has a better chance.
wow.
That's
Halo
right.
reference.
But the difference is on Xbox Share, now you guys know that on Upload you can't record a bunch of clips, you know, you can put a bunch of clips together in their editing system or editing app that they have, but you cannot record 15 minutes at a time. Now on PlayStation, you can. You can set it to 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 3 minutes, or 1 minute, I think, are the different, something like that, around that. So, it's kind of a hard point in saying that as well though, cause just because you record your game for 15 minutes doesn't mean you're gonna do good that whole time. And then once that 15 minutes is over, you'd have to go through it and sift through it and kind of pick out the bad parts or whatever when you would go to edit your video. But that is one thing that I think Xbox could add to where you could say, okay, start now and then stop in 5 minutes. Or start now and stop in 10 minutes.
Oh,
What?
You have to snap the DVR app, but you can go up to 5 minutes.
You just snap
I don't think you can go further than 5 minutes unless it's changed since, I mean, it was a long time ago when I was doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to do it.
But yeah, you can snap it and record the last 5 minutes, record the next 5 minutes.
See, that's so inconvenient. Now that I know that just makes me more mad. I'd rather just have him, cause on PlayStation you just hit the button and it's just kinda like an overlaying screen on your screen, an overlapping screen on your game screen.
Yo dog, I heard you like screens.
Shut up.
So I threw some screens on your screen.
I love that meme with, Exhibit, sorry. Anyways, so, that's something I've kind of realized, but then like I said before, the inconvenience of, if I just did something, I have to literally hit the share button, wait for all of it to load, and then hit square to record the last 60 seconds. And, I mean, we talked about it before, but that's my favorite feature on Xbox with the Kinect is the verbally, yeah, the verbal, whatever I'm trying to look for, the verbal something.
Xbox record that.
The verbal key.
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't know, Christian.
Command?
But, command, thank you, Tyler. I could not think of the freaking word. But, I love just being able to say, Xbox record that. And then it records, you know, whatever, just that easy. I don't have to worry about it not being there. You know, and then if it doesn't record it when I don't, or when I say that, if it messes it up or whatever, it's much faster and easier for me to double tap the home button, hit X really quick, and then just get out of it. And I know it's going to record it.
Yeah.
So I think that share is still kind of in the works for them. I mean, they do have a share factory where you can edit videos and all kinds of stuff, just like the Xbox does, but I think they kind of need to take Xbox ideas and the conveniences that they have within their system and steal them and put them in theirs. And I'll probably end up liking it more than Xbox's.
Yeah, they've done good things before and after Xbox has done it. Like the screenshots. PlayStation has had screenshots pretty much since the beginning, right?
Yes, they've always had them.
Just added it, which I don't know why that was such a big deal to do that, but
I don't really screenshot doesn't really capture anything unless it's like a glitch in a game, and then it'll capture it. But
yeah, I mean, you can take the Xbox screenshots and set them as your background. I don't know if you can do that on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about streaming, like streaming to Twitch? Because on Xbox, I know Taylor, you've used it a lot. I've messed with it a little bit. But you just snap the Twitch app, name your whatever you want it to be called, and like adjust your settings, turn your camera on, mic on, or whatever, and then start it. And then you can take the sidebar away, and it'll show you down on the bottom how many viewers you have.
Right.
So have you done it on the PlayStation? What is that like?
Oh, I do it all the time. I actually just did it last night. So the difference, like you just kind of stated how the Xbox works on Twitch. So now I've never used this service, but apparently there's a service called Ustream. I have no idea what that is. So if you guys know what that is, please.
Ustream, it's just a different streaming service. It's not, I think Twitch is more like specifically about gaming. Ustream is kind of anything, I think. Like, if anything you want to stream, you can put on Ustream.
I think our church actually uses Ustream.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Alright, cool. Yeah. I did not know that at all. Huh. Well, knowing that now, so that's the difference, I guess. And then Twitch, so when you hit your share button, granted, just like Xbox, it kind of pauses the recording if you're not actually in a game app. So now you get into a game and then you hit the share button and you hit stream. So PlayStation has the ability to connect to a lot of different services outside of the PlayStation, unlike Xbox. So, my PlayStation is connected to obviously, my Facebook. So, with that being said, my profile picture on my PlayStation is, my football picture, like, it's me and Allison, whatever, that's beside the point. So that's just how convenient and everything links together. So when I want to stream, I can put a link onto Facebook right from my PlayStation and say, hey, I'm streaming right now, come watch, or whatever I want to say. On Xbox, you kind of have to copy and paste your Twitch URL to your Facebook and be like, hey, I'm doing this. At least I've never seen a way to not do that, do it any other way. So, but besides that, the way it works is the little sidebar thing, unfortunately, which this is kind of an inconvenience for me because I like to have my full screen when I play video games. It actually has to stay, on the side there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that is one of the things that kind of was annoying to me. So, but the cool thing is, when you're on Xbox and you Twitch stream, when you have your thing closed for so long, you eventually get disconnected from your chat. Just because that's just how it works. At least that's how it always does for me. Like, I have my chat connected, but every time I have the thing closed for 5 or 10 minutes, it automatically says, you have been disconnected from the chat, but I'm still streaming. I just got disconnected from the chat. So that's pretty neat on PlayStation because actually I was playing this, the demo for the canceled Silent Hills last night on my PlayStation. And there was a ton of people watching. And this one guy was like telling me stop being a baby and like stop being a girl because it was just really scary. So
Oh yeah, I watched a
But
video of it. Like, I didn't even want to keep watching it. It's
yeah,
terrifying, even just watching it.
yeah, like I beat it last night and some guy was totally making fun of me. So, and that was really cool to me because I love the interaction. And on Xbox, I'm not used to having that. You know, people watch me and then the only person I can actually communicate is usually my dad watches when I stream. So my dad will text me, you know, because he has my phone number, obviously. So, but besides that, I think it'd be cool if you could change your layout. I don't know why I just said that backwards. Of how your screen is set up. Maybe like a streaming chat bar on the bottom of your screen, you know, and being able to close that sidebar possibly.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense that the sidebar stays open. Especially if you don't have you don't have a very big TV, so I probably...
No, mine's only 27 inches, so...
It's gotta be pretty annoying.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying, so... But yeah, I really think that, just like how I said before, if PlayStation could take Xbox's idea of how they can just kind of remove the sidebar, it'd be way better. So, I think PlayStation has the potential to be a better console than the Xbox in the long run. I know I hate saying that, but if I had to be honest with you.
Well, last generation, when they both first came out, the Xbox was way ahead. Because it was cheaper, it worked better overall. Even with PlayStation Online service being free, the Xbox still was way better, but they kind of evened up at the end of the console generation. And PlayStation has, just due to a lot of factors, PlayStation just ran way ahead this generation. I mean, they're outselling PlayStation, or they're outselling Xbox by like 2 times. Is that true? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure PlayStation won the console war.
I mean,
it's over.
Well, no, it's not over yet. We still have a lot to see with like exclusives and stuff like that.
I mean, they announced it's over, Christian. That's what I'm telling you.
What? You don't announce that the console wars are over.
Whatever.
It can still continue, Taylor. You just don't know.
They'll never be over. I'll never give up.
But yeah, I think that, like you're saying, I mean, it'd be nice to... I'll never devote the time that the PlayStation could have from me just because I don't have that many friends on that have PlayStations. And the people that do have PlayStation that I know, I don't want to play with them. So, and then you guys have Xboxes, so obviously I'd rather play with you guys. So.
Alright, let's, talk about the phone app. Have you messed with that at all?
Yes, I have. And I love it. It's,
how does it compare to the Xbox app?
It has every single feature on there, except for, I don't believe you can watch your game clips on the app. I don't really want to.
It has the remote?
The other thing I was going to say, if you would just wait.
Oh, sorry.
There is no remote access. I know that Christian said before that's kind of what he uses his smart glass app for, is to be able to control Netflix or whatever when he's watching it. But let me look at it really quick. It's pretty much the same thing. It's much more responsive. I know that my Xbox app doesn't always, notify me if I've gotten a message or whatever, that kind of thing. But you can connect to your PS4 and you can control your PS4 with your Xbox, just not with the mock remote. You know what I mean?
What? You can control your PS4 with your Xbox?
Wow, with the app, I'm sorry.
It's just not like the full-blown remote like the Xbox has, where it's basically like another controller. Right.
Which, I mean, in reality, the way the PlayStation works is better, because I'd rather just be on my phone and say, oh, I want to go to YouTube, and just click on it on my phone, then it goes to it on my PlayStation, instead of having to hit, go over on my phone and use it, direct it everywhere and hit the A button or what, you know what I mean?
You're talking about, well, you can do that on the Xbox app. I think it's only if you have it pinned, if you have the game pinned, you can open it up on your Xbox.
I don't mean, right. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and on PlayStation you can control everything with it, so.
Can you look at screenshots on the PlayStation app? Well, I guess not, because you can't look at clips. So that's what.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm still kind of a noob to the app. I mean, I've been using it a lot since I found out about it a month ago or so, but I'm still kind of getting used to it. I mean, on the Xbox, or I'm sorry, on the PlayStation Home, there's a screen for whatever game you're playing, or you can scroll down and it has a bunch of other information about it, last achievements or last trophies you got in it, any new news on the game, DLC, and also if people are streaming. So you can see all that stuff on the PlayStation app. And you can see your friends, you can see your messages, and that's kind of the thing that I was trying to point out, that PlayStation app is way more responsive than the Xbox One is.
Yeah, I'm constantly having to like close mine and make sure it's closed in the background. I don't know if it's just because I'm using an Android phone. I don't know if it's more stable on an iPhone.
No,
but
I don't think it. No, I mean I have an iPhone 6. I mean, no, I don't.
Like I'm constantly it just sits there and takes forever to load. I've gotten to a point I don't even try to use it if I'm on 3G. Like I just wait till I'm on Wi-Fi because and even then it barely loads. I have to keep closing it, opening it back up. It's very annoying. But once it actually loads, it's fine. Everything works really good.
So, cause if I get like a friend request on Xbox, I don't know. I don't see that, unless I get on my PlayStation or on my Xbox and go to my friends list and then look at my notifications. Oh, I have a friends list, whatever, or a friend request. On PlayStation, as soon as I get a friend request, it says, you have received a friend request. Or if you get a message, you have received a message. And it's instant. Because when I'm playing, like the other night we were playing PlayStation, me and my dad we were playing Battlefield and we fought some guy and we were owning the other team but I was at the top of the board. So this guy sent me a friend request and instead of having to go through it on my app or on my PlayStation, I opened it up on my phone because it told me as soon as he sent it. Like, I knew I knew who he was. I didn't know what he wanted, but I knew he was in our game because I could see it from killing him. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. If there's a way I can find all my clips and my screenshots on my PlayStation app, I'll probably have to say that the mobile app is much better than Microsoft's Smart Glass. So.
Alright. So, coming off of the whole friend request thing, I just wanted to put out there that the Xbox friend request thing it doesn't really tell you, clearly when somebody sends you one. And it's not really a request. It's, you just follow somebody and they have to follow you back.
Yeah, then you're friends.
Yeah, then you're your friends. So, I've been getting, a few friend requests from just, I don't know if they're from the podcast or if they're from, the Facebook groups or anything like that. So, if you send me a friend request or you want me to friend you back, send me a message, tell me, where you're from.
And your
otherwise
address.
Yeah, your social security number, any credit card numbers you may have. Just let me know so I know who you are, because if I just get some random person following me, I normally don't follow them back. And my gamer tag is SOG space McJustin on the Xbox. I haven't said that in a while either. You can also follow me on Twitter at
because no one asked about yours.
Okay.
And for those who are younger, do not ever give your credit card and stuff out. Ever. Ever. So,
unless it's to me.
Unless it's to your mom.
Wow.
Just don't give it to strangers. They don't do nice things with it. We talked about that last week in the podcast.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't hear any identity theft issues on the last podcast.
We talked about we won't talk about it again because we already talked about it. I don't remember that, but I have a terrible memory anyways, so.
Yes, you do.
Is there, anything else we want to throw out before we close it up?
Anything coming up?
Yeah, any games, any new content?
I mean, the next thing that I'm looking forward to is, The Witcher 3 coming out on May 19th which is also the same day that a new album from Chunk No Captain Chunk and The Story So Far come out.
Oh!
So it's gonna be a good day.
I forgot to mention this last week, but if anyone here is into the Christian rap genre, KB put out a new album several weeks, or not several, but 2 weeks ago, and I bought it on Monday, and I finally got to listen to it. And it's
finally got my
awesome.
Spotify fixed, so I'm gonna listen to it and maybe buy it if it's super good.
Yeah, it's super good, dude.
Is there a
You
really?
guys already know what game I'm wanting.
Yep. That's that June 23rd.
Yep.
My birthday.
And they just
My
added
birthday.
Nightwing, Catwoman, Azrael, and Robin.
Yeah, they released a ton of new info about the DLC, which everybody was hating on it because they announced this season pass. It was $40, like 2/3 the price of the game, and didn't really say much about what was in it. So
Yeah,
I guess they kind of
PlayStation.
responded.
I heard the guy who I like following from games called K-Wing, or K-Wing Let's Plays, or Nightwing 01, is his other. He said that PlayStation is having a deal, like,
Yeah, they are. But I didn't want to tell you so you didn't get sad. I know I don't have PlayStation, so.
no, it's okay. We're gonna get the DLC thing that PlayStation has whenever they do the year thing, or whatever.
Timed exclusives. It's the way of the future.
Yes, it is.
Alright, so does anybody have anything they want to end the show with?
No? Yes, I do. I want to tell you something, Christian.
Okay. Spit it out.
No, I just want to make you mad and not say anything. So, no, I have nothing to say.
Oh, okay.
No one has anything to end the podcast with?
I guess not.
I'm playing Boom Beach.
Oh my gosh.
That's a joke in and of itself.
It is. These little kids are gonna be like, nuts?
Flawless.
Nuts? What are...
Flawless.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's awesome.
I make sure to recommend this to all of the people that I meet and say, yeah, it's a nice, clean podcast. We need to make another, document that has, like, all the things, like, our thoughts for New Leaf, like what we want to do with it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah? Okay.
So that way we can brainstorm.